ambassador. You coming out of retirement, Mr. Sheridan?
Now, would you, if you could travel for the rest of your life? Good night, Joe. Thank you for those kind words.
Well, thank you for that speech. Best break we ever had. You're coming to Los Angeles just today.
Thank you,
Andrew, why not stay and reopen your office?
Who's he?
Mrs. Sheridan and I are in orbit, and we
Well, that's Andrew Sheridan. Great lawyer. But he's the greatest.
Oh, he's a beautiful man. You know, if I can't get you to marry me, I just might start on him. What do you think of that?
I'll miss you.
Oh, gee.
There's my car. Good night, sir.
Good night. You're coming up to our rooms for a long, long talk.
Not after a long, long day. John will forgive you.
Tell you what, I'll pick you up in the morning and take you to breakfast.
Jake Shakespeare's?
Oh.
Like old times?
Good night, folks.
Good night.
Good night, John. Well, night, Joe.
Good night, and thanks again.
Amy, what, Nuss?
Well, we laugh at the same jokes. We both like our steak's blood rare, and whose glands make better harmony?
You always do yourself a favor and marry a teacher or a broker. The man who owns the supermarket can be made to come home on time.
Don't give me that don't share my lousy life routine. You love it.
Oh, no. Any word but that.
Nicky, you love it. So would I.
Johnny in a hurry. Pee-wee!
Gee, you do know everybody, don't you?
Well, Pee-wee used to belong to the fire department.
Retired?
No, wife made him quit, thought it was too dangerous.
Oh.
Pee-wee! Where are you?
Holy.
You know what happened?
I don't know, Sarge. I just came in looking for my stilts and wrench. That's it.
Don't touch it.
That's probably what did it. Now, what about that kid who just took off? The kid who just took off on his motorcycle. You ever seen him before?
Yeah. That's the one. That's the guy that did it. Boy, that lousy crumb. He came in here and got a gallon of gasoline. Said he didn't have any dough. He'd pay for it later. Well, that really started a lot of noise. You know Pee-wee. They were really going at it pretty good. Pee-wee said he'd keep the guy's motorcycle till he come back with the 35 cents. And the guy started yelling. He says, I can't do that. He says, I live all the way down to San Pedro. That's when I walked out on him. I got a couple of set of tires out there to X out, the radiator job to finish.
You get in the car, I'll send you home. You call the board at headquarters, will you?
Yeah, sure. Hey, I guess you ain't used to it, huh? I saw so much of that in service, it don't affect me anymore.
Good for you. Maybe you'd like to tell his wife. You gonna be all right? Joyce? Joyce!
No, it's funny. His wife made him quit the fire department. The work was too dangerous. Oh, God. Oh, God, it's funny.
Death probably instantaneous. Only fingerprints on the Stilson wrench, those of deceased and night mechanic Ed Floyd. Cash register cleaned out, some taken, as yet undetermined. Suspect fled upon motorcycle, make undetermined. Did not turn on lights, therefore license number unreadable. Suspect wore chino pants, black leather jacket, black leather gloves, white crash helmet, ordinary goggles. Measurement of footprints and oil slick indicates suspect wore boots, size 9.5. Suspect is medium height and weight. Mechanic Floyd witnessed early part of quarrel, describes him as swarthy, possibly Mexican-American, age about 21. And probably left-handed.
What do you mean, probably?
Well, that's the coroner's theory. Man was struck by the left hand. We got to remember, this probably wasn't premeditated. He could have reached for the nearest weapon with the only hand he had free.
All right, that's it.
Sergeant, quit sleeping on public property. Go home and get some shut-eye. Robbery needs you on a stakeout.
Oh, Tom, no. I'd like to follow this through. It's personal. Kirby can sub for me.
Sure. I'm talented, too.
Well, it's okay by me, as long as I get one of you. Kelleher, you work with Anderson here. All right, Nick?
Thanks. Well, Willie, you better drink up.
The hours I spent here, the laughter, the debates, the anger, waiting for juries.
You take that.
Pink pills in the morning, blue at night, white after lunch, and green at night. Oh. It's a stinking life.
Picture of Andrew Sheridan, unhappy man. How long has it been now you've been idling around the world? 5 years? With the most charming wife who ever turned herself into instant slave?
Minnie's mad at you.
Uh-oh. I know what's coming. Fast?
Pee-wee had a lot of friends. I checked out the night man, Ned Floyd. Age, description, everything tallies. Born and raised Detroit. Average parents, average education, 9th grade dropout. Average Army record, 1 year in the line. Second war, discharge 1946. Average jobs, mostly automotive mechanic. Bachelor, lives alone, no police record. Income tax delinquent, $27.
Average everything. He's about as gray as a guy can be.
So are the best conmen. He could be the one who topped the till.
Yeah, when my back was turned.
Also the one who slugged Pee-wee. The other joker, whoever he is, gets scared and takes off on his bike. But there you are. So Floyd puts the play on him. Figures you saw the guy run. If we ever catch up with him, who'll believe him?
Put down a reminder to check to see if any motorcycles were reported stolen. Oh, missing persons. See if anybody lost a motorcycle plus a rider.
Hey, we got ourselves a celebrity this AM.
Who's that?
Over in the booth with my old pal.
I bring you an ultimatum. We're leaving here right after that lunch that you fool idlers insist upon giving me. And Minnie says, unless you have dinner with us every night without your briefcase...
I can't, sir. You should see my desk.
All right, bring your briefcase. Unless you think the old master's lost something since he taught you how to blow your nose.
Well, I might think so if I had half as many honors as you do, sir. Until then, you're the best.
Much have I seen and known. How does that go, Tennyson's Ulysses?
Much have I seen and known. Cities of men, and manners, climates, councils, governments, and drunk delight of battle with my peers far on the ringing plains of windy Troy. How dull it is to pause.
Go on.
It's a little early in the morning for poetry.
How dull it is to pause, to make an end, to rust unburnished, not to shine in use, as though to breathe were life.
Morning, Counselor. Hello, Nicky. Mr. Sheridan, I couldn't leave without paying my respects. Also without saying how well you look.
Well, what newspaper is?
No, sir. Detective Sergeant Anderson.
Oh, yes. How are you, Sergeant?
Fine. Look like the well-known rat. Yeah, up all night. Man was killed in an argument over 35 cents. Well, nice to see you again, Mr. Sheridan.
Thank you. There's one for the jury. A man's life for 35 cents.
See this face before?
Yeah, I know about 20 kids that look just like that.
Right down to the clothes. Like stamped out by a cookie cutter.
What did he do?
We don't know if he did anything yet. That's what we want to find out.
What do you mean you don't know? You don't believe he killed Pee Wee? Who does that leave? Me?
Anybody can figure that.
You can knock that off, buddy. Just cut it out.
Why don't you button that lip?
No, when somebody starts to give me the business, I holler. What are you guys trying to prove anyway? Look, this punk comes in the gas station where I work. He knocks my boss off for 35 cents worth of gas. This Gestapo agent sees him leave 2 seconds later. But they ain't bright enough to find him. No, they got to start looking at me. Well, this happens to be a democracy we live in, buddy. My taxes pay your wages. You're my servant, you know that? You're my servant.
You know, with your voice and Pee Wee's temper, you two must have mixed it up a lot. What's the charge to enter one of these derbies?
Well, we had 3 big prizes. The club had to ask $50.
Payable when?
Up to a half hour before starting time.
All these kids have that kind of money?
Well, they get it.
You say you got about 20 faces like this?
I can rattle their names off if you want.
How many of the 20 paid up in the last couple of days? See how smart your servants are?
Now, if he didn't have the 35 cents in the first place. Oh, yeah, the till.
That's the theory.
You know, the more I look at this, the more I think about who might be in Dutch with the law. The more I see Rudy Sanchez.
Who's that?
Rudy Sanchez, this tuna fisherman, came out of nowhere about 3 years ago. Started fighting at the Legion Stadium. Looked hotter than a $3 pistol.
Never heard of him.
He got in trouble and wound up in Chino. Last week, this punk didn't have 25 cents to his name. A couple of days later, he came around with his entry fee.
Is he here now?
Nah, we wouldn't take his money. I warned him again about riding all over the landscape on his motorcycle. You see, he's out on parole.
Thanks a lot. Parole says we got to be wrong. This kid's been behaving himself. They also say he can't go out after tuna. Those boats roam all the way down to the Galapagos. But he does odd jobs around the Canaries, lives on his father's boat when it's in port.
That would be San Pedro?
That would be San Pedro.
What did your friend Floyd have to say? Has he seen this?
Negative. He's too anxious.
He'd identify anyone to clear himself. We'll have to try a different M.O.
Assault with intent to commit bodily harm on the person of one Dr. Maxwell Schiller.
The Sanchez goes to this Dr. Schiller, orthopedist, with a broken bone in his foot. Bone doesn't mend properly. Sanchez goes back to said doctor, fractures doctor's jaw, then stomps on doctor's foot until it breaks. Doesn't everyone?
I guess it's all right if first you take off your shoes.
He didn't.
Bring him in. Let's have a look at him. And fellas, watch out you don't get stepped on down in San Pedro.
Shut up, boys! You want to sail tomorrow? Put some food on board.
Placito Sanchez?
Oh? Los Angeles Police. Mind if we come aboard? We have no search warrant.
Search the forward end.
So? What's my problem?
Don't jump the gun. Might not have one.
Fella, I own a tuna boat. I got problems.
Your son Rudy on board?
You been to my house?
Your wife said he might be here.
What you want Rudy for?
Just ask him a couple of questions.
3 police cars come around only to ask one kid some questions.
Well, I didn't want it this way, but the harbor patrol, they said you fishermen are sometimes excitable.
Sometimes. Yeah, why not? He rides his motorcycle. Says before you guys fixed his life so good for him, he rides his motorcycle. Why not?
It's against parole regulations, that's why not. He could be sent back to finish the rest of his term. That's also why not.
This is why I like to be a fisherman, you know? I go on the clean water sometimes 2, 3 months. You guys on shore, who can live with you? You're loco, you know? Crazy. You send a kid back to prison for riding his motorcycle?
Did he ride it last Saturday night?
You don't come here with 3 police cars to find that out.
Last Saturday night at 11 o'clock.
What are you, a child? What do you expect? I take my flesh and blood by the neck and send him back to you?
There's always the possibility that I might hand him back to you with a clean bill.
You know what kind of eyes you got? Like some pictures in a book. They tell me plenty. Go ask a stranger. A man like me be glad I don't gut you like a fish. Get off my boat!
You want to do your son a favor? If you know where he was, the best thing you could do for him and your family...
Here! He was right here! He don't make the trip with us. Your lousy regulations. He behaves himself now. He uses his head. No more fists. Saturday? Here. All day and all night.
You're willing to swear to that? He was here, and he didn't use the motorcycle.
What motorcycle? I sold it for him long ago in Mexico. Manzanillo. Hey, Nick! Truck no! Found in the food locker. So? I tell a lie, so?
On the cross.
For my flesh and blood,
I lie on the cross. What am I, different?
What's it doing on board?
He comes to see the guys, do my paperwork. He puts it in a safe place. He lives for that lousy machine.
Well, if it's on board, he must be too. Or do you want to swear again? Okay. This time we don't need a search warrant.
So, you learned something about boats?
You still plan to sail tomorrow morning? Don't.
Who stops me?
The Coast Guard.
Pretty good.
In the shaft, Ali. Under the shaft. They walked over my head 6 times.
Under the shaft, huh? Oh, you got a smart brain. Somebody start the engines. Ain't enough left of you to make bait.
Maybe I wouldn't care.
Oh, and I don't care. But your mother, she cares. You put a hook in her heart ever since you were 12 years old. You know how she feel, a hook in her heart?
You don't think I don't try my best?
You try for you, for yourself, for Rudy Sanchez. What do you try for your mother, for me? When you're born, I say to the whole world, Cuidado, look out for me now, I got me a son. Where is he, my son? Huh? Where is he when I need him to go fishing? Like me, like his grandfather, like my grandfather. He fights. He rides his motorcycle, he breaks the doctor's bones, and he goes to prison. And what does he do now, huh? Last Saturday night, huh? What does he do?
Nothing! They hate to see anybody on parole. They want to send me back. Pop, who are you going to believe? Don't do that! Pop, you know me. You know me.
No. No, I never know you. But I know me. I tell a lie on the cross, so they don't take you. I give my soul to the devil, so they don't take you. What you do last Saturday, huh? You rob somebody? Maybe you kill somebody, huh? You tell me.
I don't have to know this!
Let go.
Pop, you keep your hands off me. Don't drive me, Pop. I'm begging you. What I did last Saturday is my business.
My business.
No, I'm not a kid anymore. I've been around. And I don't take the back of anyone's hand anymore. Not even yours.
Saturday night, huh? What you do last Saturday, huh? You tell me because I'm going to chop you.
Okay, I robbed somebody! Do you feel better? I robbed somebody. Believe anything you want about me. Anything that stinks and is going to hell, that's me! Rudy Sanchez! Believe it!
Octavio Lopez. Just about the right height and appearance. You tell him to park 2 blocks north of Pee Wee's. We'll pick him up in about an hour.
Leather jacket, boots, black leather gloves. Okay. By the way, we have another bulletin on Floyd from Internal Revenue.
Yeah? More delinquency?
No, all paid up. Postal money order, $27. 2 days after Pee Wee was killed. Does that do anything to you?
Makes a fella stop and think.
Hiya, Sarge.
Fill it up, will you?
Find the guy that killed Pee Wee yet?
We'll find him. Mind moving some dirt around those windows?
Why is it everybody's so neurotic about a little dirt?
I hear you've been a very good citizen, paid up all your back taxes.
My, the Gestapo.
Where'd you get the extra bucks?
I floated a loan. I borrowed some money. Wilshire Bank, you better check that, too.
You know, you're lucky you didn't find the wallet.
You got him.
Who?
Him, that's the guy.
What are you talking about?
What's the matter, you guys nuts or something? That's the guy right there.
Which one?
The one on this side right here. That's the guy that killed Pee Wee.
You mean to tell me we've been away from here only 5 years? Minnie, for heaven's sakes, don't be so placid. Doesn't mean anything to you what these Johnny-come-latelys have done to Wilshire Boulevard?
No, dear. It wasn't ours.
Ah, but it was. This was our town. It may have forgotten, but it once had a race of giants. This was our playground and our arena. Jerry Geisler, Earl Rogers, those were the days. Tell you a fascinating story. It was when Clarence Darrow was being tried for jewelry bribery. I was walking in the courtroom with him. Somebody came up and snatched my briefcase.
Darling, I think John has heard that story.
Oh, but I enjoy it.
Where'd you raise that entry fee?
On a horse. Saturday. That same Saturday.
Oh, lucky you. You got a system? Let me know. I'm a loser.
I'm just lucky.
What were the odds?
6-1.
You go to the track?
No.
Oh, got a good bookie.
Yeah. A bookie.
What's his name?
Joe. Joe something. I don't know.
Which race was that?
The 5th. I guess he was the 5th.
What was the name of the horse?
I don't remember.
You were dead broke. You won $50 on a horse. Don't remember the horse's name.
You heard me. I don't remember.
I heard you. Well, at least you remember the name of the track. What was the name of that track?
Santa Anita. Oh, no, the other one.
All right, never mind. Hey, you know, it's a funny thing. You say you were broke, yet you make a bet. What'd you use for money? Well, here we are.
Thank you. Now, your notes for your speech.
Oh, thank you, Minnie.
And your pills.
Did I forget them?
No, dear. You hid them, and I found them.
But Minnie, pills in the presence of all those people like a doddering old idiot.
The green one before eating, and the yellow one immediately after. And Andrew, only one drink, please. You know why. John, can I count on you?
I'll hound him. That's exactly what it feels like. Now, Minnie, Will you be all right without me?
I'll manage. Have a wonderful time, and I'll see you in 2 hours.
My guardian angel. Oh, thank you, John.
Where did you go that night? Just out riding, maybe?
Yeah. Just ride.
Why?
Just to ride. Maybe to get rid of some steam.
Oh, sure, I know the feeling. Why didn't you tell us that before?
You ride around to look for something to do.
What kind of something? Like that gas station?
No, just to ride. Like lots of other guys.
Well, you can't just ride all the time. Don't you ever get off, taking a movie, maybe?
Oh, sure.
When your girl's with you, huh?
What's the matter? No girl?
No.
Never?
No, right now. That's how I happened to be out that evening. To maybe make a contact.
Which evening?
The one you're talking about.
When you tried to hang this guy up for a gallon?
I didn't try to hang no one up. I wasn't there.
Well, where were you?
I was not near the gas station.
Okay. Okay. Smoke? I see you're a southpaw.
I hope that isn't suddenly a crime, too.
I bet you had a mean left when you were a fighter.
It was murder.
Was it? Well, you know the joker who murdered Pee Wee Benson was a southpaw.
To the man who wrought more miracles in the courtroom, shook more cobwebs out of the law, made more judges go back to their homework. The grand old man of American jurisprudence, a lawyer who never once, in his long and brilliant career, failed to measure up to the one qualification, the best there is, Mr. Andrew Sheridan.
John, you want to do a pal a favor?
If I can.
Placido Sanchez, shake hands with John Egan.
Sanchez?
Placido's a tuna fisherman. Skipper. I was sport fishing in Mexico a couple of years ago, and we get to know each other.
What's the problem?
He's looking for a lawyer.
Oh, that'd have to be somebody else. I'm not taking any new cases for a while.
I own a tuna boat, all paid up. Whatever you ask.
Sorry.
My boy needs you.
Well, so do the clients I already have. Sanchez. The motorcycle thing?
You know.
Well, nothing but trade does it.
Well, you got to help him.
It's not possible.
You don't care?
I didn't say that, Mr. Sanchez. I said I'm not taking any new cases for a while.
You feel good today? You feel free? Rich, maybe? No policeman grabs you? Nobody puts you in jail? Mr. Egan, this is a boy who got no chance. He break his parole, they finish him.
I'm sorry.
I don't beg.
I watch you ignore your diets, forgetting your calories and your cholesterol count, provoking the rages of your ulcers, the lawyer's Medal of Honor. I think how I have exchanged your musty courtrooms for the enchanted isles of the world. And I am moved to tears of compassion. You ask yourself, but is he truly happy in retirement? Doesn't the old warrior toss in his sleep as he dreams of the dear, familiar clash and clamor of battle? Gentlemen, I say to you, how wrong you are. I have had it. Doctor,
bring a doctor in here to poke at me, and I'll kick him over the city hall. A yellow one with the blue... that's it. Thank you, Counselor. Now, 30 minutes and I'll be perfectly fine. Gentlemen, go back to the table. I give you my word. 30 minutes.
Mr. Sheridan, I have a couch in my office. Don't you think it'd be better if you lay down?
Hey, nonsense. I'm going back to the table.
You've got to be our lawyer.
Don't you see I'm taking care of a sick man?
Please, I don't beg before, but now I beg you.
Look, Mr.
What is this?
Well, you remember when Sergeant Anderson came over to our table, sir? The man who was killed in the argument over 35 cents?
Oh.
How do I convince you, Mr. Sanchez? I cannot take any more work. It's impossible.
Counselor, are you positive?
Well, you've seen my trial schedule, sir.
Yes, I have. Of course, when... But that was another generation. Sir, as a lawyer for 50 years, I've occupied some remarkable quarters, but I've never been retained in a men's room. Would you like to complete my career? Did you rob and kill Benson? Were you there when it happened? Where were you? Where were you? Very well. Rudy, do you know what happens when you inhale cyanide gas? First, your nose is informed. It's really true, they're executing you. There's a sharp odor similar to the inside of a peach stone. Then within 2 seconds, you suffer severe palpitations, more and more violent. But you can't break free. You happen to be strapped to a metal chair. It's a very degrading way to die. Where were you on that Saturday night? Where? You showed $50 to the stewards of that bicycle contest. Where did it come from?
Her Christmas club. Dolores. Her Christmas club money. She took it out of the bank to lend it to me.
A girl.
Her father said he would shave her head if she went out with me. He would shave her head and throw it out in the street.
A girl. Now, Sergeant, it's been established the accused has a perceptible limp due to an injury to his left foot. And on page 82 of the record, you state you are aware of this disability. Did you see him limp?
Yes.
When?
Anytime I saw him walk.
Now, when that assailant fled from the place of the crime to his motorcycle, would you say he limped?
I can't be certain.
Now, Sergeant, you're a policeman, a trained observer. He either limped or he didn't limp.
Which is it?
Well, he was running. Near his bike, he slipped in an oil slick. If I saw him limp after that...
Did you?
I'm not certain.
You're not certain that he limped. You didn't see his face.
I'll be able to tell you, kids, you once watched Andrew Sheridan in action.
The license
Will
plate
time? We can take
was
a few
in
minutes.
darkness, and you couldn't read it. Am I correct so far, Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Now, according to police mentality... Oh, I beg your pardon, Sergeant. Police procedure. Does this constitute a positive identification of the accused?
There are other factors involved.
Answer the question. I ask you, according to the police, is this a basis for positive identification?
No, sir.
Nevertheless, you arrested the accused.
For other contributing reasons.
That's all.
Sergeant, the record also states that when you attempted to arrest this defendant, he broke away and tried to escape. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
He ran?
Yes, sir.
How far?
About 25 feet.
I see. And did he limp while running?
No, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. No further questions?
Now, Mr. Floyd, don't be nervous. If I seem unduly meticulous, it's only because we do want the guilty person to be punished, do we not?
Well, I know I do. But you're supposed to be defending him.
I'm afraid, Mr. Floyd, you're too quick.
Now, forget it. I just couldn't resist, Edwin.
And I happen to be standing in the way. Well, were you standing when Pee Wee was killed?
Objection.
Mr. Pine?
The witness has already stated that he did not see the blow struck, therefore he cannot know where he was standing at that precise moment. Court must certainly be aware that counsel is attempting to confuse the state's witness, to trap him into an appearance of guilt or complicity.
Objection sustained. The court thanks Mr. Pine for being such a wide-awake guardian of its awareness. The court also reminds him that if Mr. Sheridan's tactics are occasionally to be deplored, so are Mr. Pine's if he imitates them, as now with this speech for benefit of jury. Gentlemen, is it not possible to have a sober, serious trial at law here, rather than another trial by mental agility? You may proceed, Mr. Sheridan.
Now, Mr. Floyd, now I ask you.
Mr. Sheridan?
No further questions.
Mr. Miller?
No questions, Your Honor.
The witness may step down. Court is recessed until 2 o'clock this afternoon. Mr. Sheridan. You feel all right?
Fine. Why not?
Able to go on?
The old lion may have lost some teeth and a few patches of his hide, but he still has his claws. Yes, we'll go on. I put him in those robes. I called the governor at 3 a.m. on a certain morning and said, it has to be Jamie Shore. He's clean, he's brainy, he wants to be a judge. I did this.
Well, sir, Maybe that's his way of showing you that you can't expect any special privilege.
I don't ask any special privilege, but I do ask Jamie Shore to remember who I am. It's all taking too long, longer than I anticipated.
Well, I could see you were setting Floyd up to knock him down. You have something on him?
Only that Sanchez is innocent.
Mm-hmm. That's a statement with hair on its chest.
Sanchez was not there, and I can back up his alibi. The killer was a third party, or Floyd himself. I wanted to get him to explain a few things. His constant quarreling with his employer. I have that from Mrs. Benson. But I can't put her on the stand and have her make accusatory remarks about his constant tampering with the cash register. But I expected to lead him into a self-accusation.
This anything?
Will you call Floyd back this afternoon, sir?
Oh, of course. No. I don't know. I can make it without him.
I'd call him, sir. I think it'd give you that extra edge.
John, let not the egg teach the chicken how to scratch. Excuse me. Well, now, Dolores, I ask you on your solemn oath, where were you at 10 o'clock on the Saturday night in question?
Near my house, a block away.
Alone?
I was saying goodnight to my boyfriend.
And then?
I walked to my house, went in, and went straight to bed.
At 10 o'clock?
10 to 10:15.
Who is your boyfriend, Dolores?
I told you, I never had but one.
Is he in this courtroom today?
Yes.
Could you, point him out to us?
Rudy Sanchez.
And you were walking with Rudy Sanchez in San Pedro, 40 miles from the scene of the crime at 10 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You may have the witness.
No questions.
Oh, just a moment, Miss Lucio, please. Do you have the correct time?
Now? No, sir.
I wondered. I didn't notice a wristwatch. Tell me, do you carry a timepiece in your purse?
No, I wore my wristwatch in the shower. And now it's nothing but just a hunk of rust.
Oh, too bad. Tell me, when did this happen?
Weeks ago.
Before that Saturday night in question?
Oh, sure, weeks.
Well, then, how did you know what time the defendant left you that night?
I asked him. He looked at his watch and he told me.
And after he told you, you said goodnight.
That's right.
And then you walked the remaining block to your home.
He didn't want my father to see who I was out with.
And then you went in.
And straight to bed. Tomorrow was early mass.
Oh. Did you have to set an alarm clock?
I don't need one. I always wake up early.
Well, do you have one in your bedroom?
No.
Did you notice the time by any other clock?
I didn't go to look.
Why not?
I just didn't. I didn't know you'd be asking me.
Miss Lucio, let me ask you this. By which door did you enter?
Which?
Yes.
The front.
And how far is that door from your bedroom?
4 steps.
4?
Well, it's kind of a tiny hall. You open the door and turn to your left, and there's my room.
And no clock in that tiny hall?
No.
Well, then, Miss Lucio, you don't really know what time the defendant left you that night, do you?
I do.
How?
He told me.
He told you? Well, couldn't it have been later?
Oh, sure.
Or earlier, perhaps. Perhaps 15 minutes earlier. You said yourself it was 10 or 10:15.
Well, what's 15 minutes?
All right, perhaps a half an hour, perhaps an hour. An hour would have given him enough time to race that motorcycle to the San Fernando Valley, where he could rob and kill Pee Wee Benson.
Objection! Sustained. Strike that.
Now, isn't it possible that Sanchez may have deliberately planted a false time in your mind?
Object!
Isn't it possible that it was 9 o'clock, not 10, that after he kissed you goodnight, he went off to commit this murder?
Objection! Sustained. Strike those questions. Mr. Miller, you know better than that.
I beg your pardon. I have only anger as an excuse. I most respectfully beg your pardon. No further questions.
What was he wearing? Where was the bike?
Mr. Sheridan, have you no further questions?
Yes. No questions.
Miss Lucio, to your certain knowledge, did anyone see you and the defendant together at that time?
Well, like, what do you mean?
No one passed by?
Well, sure. People walking their dogs. You know. But no one who was very important.
Mr. Sheridan?
The defense rests.
That'll be all, Miss Lucio. You may step down.
He blew it. He blew the ball game.
Hello, sir. Well, they clobbered me.
How do you feel?
Shall we say not like Andrew Sheridan?
She wants to know, is no more. Now he dies, and we all forget.
You heard the judge. He'll pronounce sentence in 2 weeks. He thinks it over. He's a good judge.
Yeah, sure. Maybe someday you come tuna fishing, busy man. You like that? Maybe you'll see how we plenty busy when we pull into tuna. Everybody busy. Arriba! Baby gets a pair of shoes. Arriba! The big one! This one make a payment for the car! Then the shark comes, huh? And you fall in. But we're not too busy pull you out. In a bad time, what man is too busy?
Clients want your life. Your heart, your blood. I gave them 50 years of it.
It's a little hard to keep up with you. First you drag the boy in, and then your nose is out of joint because he's convicted.
Well, it feels pretty good when a trial proves you made the right pinch. What did this trial prove?
Look, Nicky, Judge Shaw is just as unhappy as the rest of us. He's not going to throw the book at the boy.
Suppose he does. May I make a speech?
I'd rather hear the music.
You'd be slamming through center right now if it wasn't Andrew Sheridan. You would be hollering foul, screaming about due process, and demanding to know why somebody wasn't asking for a new trial. But that might mean hurting Sheridan, and we can't do that, can we?
Now, what is this, counselor? Does it mean that everything you spout about the law is a lot of hogwash when it means protecting an old friend?
It's not my responsibility, Nick.
Well, whose responsibility is it? I'd like to know. I mean, if I ever get into a real jam, who do I lean on? The law or a friend?
You didn't have to come here. A telegram would have served.
I wanted you to hear it from me.
Really? Why? Would that hurt me less?
Sir, if I could avoid all...
But you couldn't. A mere motion for a new hearing.
May I know what my two favorites are quarreling about?
A friend here would like to establish that the Sanchez boy was denied due process. Incompetence.
Who?
Mine.
Will you two never stop teasing me?
Oh, this wonderful woman. Minnie, he's very serious, and he should be. But before a sentence is passed, he can expose me as an incompetent has-been, a senile meddler with people's lives. Why, Judge Shaw may declare a mistrial. Give the boy a new trial, another chance.
Is he innocent?
That's not the point.
The point is, was he or was he not represented by responsible counsel?
Will this be a public hearing?
Yes. And it may be very entertaining. John Egan and Andrew Sheridan, face to face. You will call me as a witness, of course. A witness against myself, Minnie. Because that's what it's all about.
Who is Nello?
Nello?
Doesn't it strike a nerve?
Doesn't even tickle.
His name, or maybe it's a word in the Sanchez file. I know that's Sheridan's handwriting.
Well, he made a lot of his own calls while he was here, and the phone was always ringing for him.
I'll tell you what. You call him at his hotel, huh?
Nello? Having the foggiest notion. Might mean anything.
In the case file?
Yes. Possibly a crank call pertaining to the case. You know how many one receives.
Not the best you can do? Seems to me if it's in the case file...
Counselor, you'll have your chance to question me. In the meantime, if the name had any importance, you may be sure I'd remember it.
Mr. Egan, I should like to announce that I am now in San Pedro. I am at a fish and chips establishment owned by a party named Nello. And I think, Mr. Egan, that I have struck, Mrs. Nello should pardon the expression, pay dirt. The Nello house is just 2 blocks away from where our client's girl lives.
I don't think there's any connection. Well, my husband might have known them. You know, the way you know people you meet when you're walking the dog. He used to take Lovey for a walk.
Might have? Used to? Or...
Didn't you know? He's dead, Mr. Egan.
Sorry, Mrs. Nello.
Last week, he went to sleep and it was very peaceful. Just the way he lived. He was such an orderly man. Everything in its place, and a place for everything. Everything on time. His meals exactly 6 hours apart. He took Lovey for a walk every night exactly at the same hour. Bedtime. A half hour later. Exactly 10:30. Well, I don't suppose I'm helping you very much.
Mrs. Nello, where did he walk Lovey?
Oh, around and around.
No, I mean, exactly where?
Oh, in the neighborhood. 2 blocks north, 2 blocks east, and so on.
At 10 o'clock every evening?
Unless it rained.
No, there was no rain on the evening I had in mind. Mrs. Nello, could your husband have seen Dolores Lucio and Rudy Sanchez if they were near her house, as she claims?
Oh, probably. Yes, he used to pass it every night.
Between 10 and 10:30?
to the minute.
He saw them.
You'll never know. He's dead.
He saw them. It had to be this Nello who phoned Sheridan. He read about the alibi. He thought he might have something, and Sheridan forgot.
We don't know that, Mitch.
A chance to substantiate that alibi, a possible eyewitness. He wrote it down on a scrap of paper, and then he forgot to follow it through. John, this is it. Proof that the defense was out picking daisies.
Do you have to be so happy about it?
Why not? Thank you, Mrs. Nello. You've been very helpful.
Mr. Harris, if you wish to carry my head off on the point of your sword, I'd advise you to marshal your forces. I seem to detect a lack of experience.
Well, that may be true, sir, but I do have a personal respect for you and for your eminence as a member of the bar.
Thank you. Does that require a yes or no answer?
Gentlemen, this is entertaining, but of no other value to the court or to the defendant.
Your Honor?
Mr. Sheridan.
Obviously, Mr. Harris is not as well versed in courtroom strategy as his mentor, Mr. Egan. Now, if it would help him, I would be entirely willing to accept what I know he earnestly wishes, a considerably more relaxed process.
You may proceed, Mr. Harris.
Thank you for your concern, Mr. Sheridan. Well, what do you know about a Mr. Nello?
Nothing. You may enlighten me.
You're avoiding the question, sir.
Young man, the question shouldn't interest you. The answer should.
Well, then give me the answer.
I did. The clerk will read it to you.
Mr. Sheridan, you're arguing with counsel.
I beg your pardon, Your Honor. Sounds more like a quiz contest. Young man, the first rule of interrogation is to stay ahead of the witness. Didn't Mr. Egan ever inform you of this?
Your Honor, if it please the court.
Mr. Egan, you may proceed.
Mitch? Sheridan, I remember how impressed I was the first time I saw how carefully you prepared a case. Are you still able to prepare so thoroughly?
Define able.
Took a lot of stamina and a remarkable memory.
I still have it.
For complete preparation?
Define complete. What is important to one lawyer has a totally different value to another.
And the man whose name you placed in the Sanchez file, this James Nello, you considered him unimportant?
I didn't say that.
Important, then?
I didn't say that.
But you must say something, Mr. Sheridan.
Must, Mr. Egan.
Must, Mr. Sheridan, must. We're not here to engage in a personal duel. There's a man accused of murder, the defendant, Rudy Sanchez. We're dealing with his life, Mr. Sheridan. Did Nello mention his name?
Nello? Nello?
Nello! 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 Did you charge the defendant for your services?
I made an arrangement with the defendant's father.
Your customary fee?
Define customary.
That amount you usually charged before you retired?
Well, many cases I tried without fee, asking only court costs.
Was this one of them?
No.
Why not?
Defendant's father refused such arrangement and insisted I be compensated.
He had to insist?
Yes.
Well, I tell you, that's unusual.
If you think so.
Oh, I do. I certainly hope this doesn't become standard procedure among lawyers and their clients.
Hardly likely.
Well, that's true. We're not all wealthy.
More's the pity.
Able to indulge every whim.
Not every whim.
Why not? Your health?
My health is good.
Memory, too?
Excellent.
Except for James Nello. You're going to give me an answer, Mr. Sheridan, except for James Nello.
I remember what I consider important to remember. Nello.
He may have been someone who volunteered as a character witness, or maybe had nothing to do with the case at all, or perhaps a prospective juror, or a lawyer. A lawyer stops you in the corridor and says, don't put Mr. Nello on your jury. Is that so improbable?
No. Except this Mr. Nello, who is now dead and can't be called as a witness, lived only 2 blocks from the home of the defendant's sweetheart. And Mr. Nello walked his dog in that neighborhood every evening at precisely the time the defendant and the young lady say they were in the area. 40 miles from the scene of the crime. Now, Mr. Nello, had a deposition been taken from him, might have supported their story. But Mr. Nello's message was ignored. And Mr. Nello is now dead. And Rudy Sanchez. How do you explain that to Rudy Sanchez, Mr. Sheridan?
Lawyers aren't machines. I can tell you about lawyers who forgot to go to court. I can tell you about lawyers who went to court and had a complete breakdown. I can name you lawyers who collapsed in court. Tell you a story about Clarence Darrow. Nobody knows this story. It happened in my office one day. May I have some water? Green one, John. Green is for boys too young and men too old. Jamie, what's too old? They say a man is old when he walks on the shady side of the street. But you know who says that? Those who are still walking in the sun. They. You know who they are? They are the people who are still doing things. They set the styles, create rumors. Active people still have their energy. Energy. Never thought I'd retire. Never. Die in harness. It's the only way. Retire. Fool doctor. Caught me off guard when I had a little scare. Fool.
Would you like to step down, Mr. Sheridan?
Andrew Sheridan can retire. Why not? We collect barrels and boxes and lots of newspaper and tissue. And we label this barrel talent, that one experience. And love for the law goes into a box. Pride and reason and energy and one's manhood goes into a box. Boxes for an old man's life. But one can't pack his ego in a barrel or a box. It's all he has left. Legs gone bad. Eyes. Hand trembles. Can't hold on to things. Drop things. Memory bad. Sometimes it's difficult to remember things that once had been habits. He coddles it. It's all he has. And oh, how he wants the light to shine on him again. That dear, sweet life
I was going to say something. I don't seem to quite... What was that name, boy?
It doesn't matter, sir.
Yes. I remember. He telephoned. I was preparing my brief. No, it was after that. I think it was after that. I said I would meet with him. I don't recall where. The Hall of Justice. But I did say I'd meet with him. But I was so busy. There were so many details. I forgot. Your Honor, I'm very tired.
I think Mr. Egan has made his point, sir. You may step down.
Very good job, Counselor.
I had a very great teacher, sir. I'll just take you two to my office.
Don't bother. We're going to the hotel. We're leaving tomorrow.
Minnie, try and understand. He had to.
To do this to you or a hoodlum.
No, for the law. See that you represent Sanchez in his new trial. He's innocent.
I know, sir.
How do you know?
Intuition.
It's not enough. You'll have to prove it.
I'll prove it.
Minnie, try and understand. The issue was not the guilt or innocence of the defendant. The issue was the law. You seem to forget I'm the one who taught him to protect the law.